Okay, that's good. So it's about 15, 20 minutes?
Yeah.
Okay, okay.
As long as you want, yeah. I only
Alright.
need 20 minutes, but as long as it takes you to just, those two specific sub
Okay.
questions.
Okay, that's good. So go ahead, you ask questions and I'll answer them.
So, alright. Again, good morning, Dr. Tao.
Good morning.
Thank you for allowing this meeting to occur.
Okay.
How does the Institute of Innovation and Economic Development, how do they address the community's needs?
So our belief is that to create jobs and to create the well-being of a society, the best way is to create new business opportunity, right? So how do you create new business opportunity in today's world? Is to create a new idea and kind of we cultivate a new idea to become new business. Some business could be as small as, okay, maybe we have a restaurant that combines Chinese food and taco. But some idea could be, how do we extract a seaweed and make it a new type of food can solve hunger in the world. So all kind of innovation, we believe, can lead to new business, and new business will create jobs, and jobs will really elevate the whole economy, and everyone will benefit. Especially if you look at multi-county, our unemployment rate is a little bit higher than the national. And we have a very unique combination of the ocean, the very rich farmland, very world connected kind of population. So we believe this is a good place to innovate small and big idea. And through the innovation, we'll create business, we'll create job.
So just for my understanding, so you mentioned things like economic within the community, specifically the community demographic of those that are maybe less fortunate, i.e. be given the opportunities for those individuals to come and learn from the services that you provide.
That's right, that's right. So we provide training and mentoring and opportunity to network and for entrepreneur to find investor and talents, and for worker and talent to find opportunity to work, and for investor to put their money into a higher growth area. So if you look at the institute is a catalyst. When all these components are floating outside, they are not growing, they are not changing, they are not making progress. But somehow the institute want to gather them here. Entrepreneur, people with new ideas, professional like engineer, accountant, lawyer, investment from bank, from government, and from investing institution. So these four components come together, and we will come up with something is have much higher value than individuals. So that's the idea behind a fairly small institute, but the idea could be high impact, and the idea can be changing not only our area, but changing a lot of people's life.
So would you say that you're not necessarily focusing on the individual, correct? You stated it's more of so the individual that is a part of a community already within themselves, so the IED would plug into their specific communities or ask them, hey, come, and specifically the individual would be, ideal individual would be somebody that's entrepreneurially minded.
That's right.
Business student, individuals like that have aspirations to not only get a high paying job or contribute to the society, but contribute to their entrepreneurial tinkering,
yes.
right?
That's
learning
right.
and growing organizations.
And if you look at across the history, at every time there are major innovation, the level of productivity, the number of companies the level of economic output is elevated by sometimes seemingly simple ideas from the steam engine, right, in 1700.
Yeah.
Now you can have a heat source. It generates a lot of movement, right? It just pull the locomotive to electricity. People just say, wow, you can just crank the magnet. This current, electronic current come, and you can light up lights. You can put the motor into motion until then move on to like internet. Wow, you can have this little device. I can communicate not only voice, image, but the kind of financial transaction throughout the globe with almost no cost. Each one of them sounds seemingly small, but can lead to multiple industry, can lead to a lot of well-being for many of us. So the Institute of Innovation is here to, maybe we have to work with 10, 20 different ideas, but some of them will have that spark. And that's our hope. Some of them will create a major business. Some of them will be a small kind of mom and pop shop, still very good.
Right.
But we are in a way that people talk about so-called the home run business. We keep swinging kind of long, and one of the shot would go very far. So that's the hope.
So if you could, so you mentioned the community's needs in regards to the Monterey Bay region. What can you specifically say is a need besides the innovation to get more individuals to come to IED?
So the need, they are, the area have many different needs, and of course Institute being a very small one, we can only provide a focus that as I kind of connected earlier. The need for the area is that we have talent, we have opportunity, we have financial resource here, but the need is someone to put them together so a new business can grow out of those combinations. So the need is someone need to, like Institute, need to gather these different components and get new innovative business started. So the translating to needs, for example, we have a lot of talent in Salinas Valley that have a good connection to Latin America, right?
Yeah.
But how much of their output actually can be part of the service or product that in Latin America can enjoy? Not a lot. Can we create a media center that a lot of be small, like a YouTube jokes, be a big one like a documentary or even TV theory, can we produce here and impact and provide that service to the whole Latin America? Someone need to unlock that door to let the opportunity flows, right? And someone, for example, we know that the farmland in Salinas Valley is very rich, and it is very close to the metropolitan, like San Francisco and LA. So the vegetable grow here are very valuable because they can ship to the major metropolitan area within a day. Can we connect the agriculture business with the high tech in Silicon Valley and make the food more secure, more nutritious, reduce waste, and make the whole process use a lot less chemical and make the process a lot more efficient? Yeah, for example, if you think about the lettuce field, almost half of the lettuce grow are wasted. It's either imperfect or it's grow in the wrong time, or they are not the right size, or they are not harvested in the right way. So we believe putting technology, for example, internet technology, image processing, self-driving tractor, for example, we can create the efficiency in ag tech. So people putting the same amount of work, we can harvest maybe 20-30% more. So people always thinking about putting the hard work and putting the kind of the capital. So the labor putting hard work, the investor putting capital,
Yeah.
then you create a industrial factory, which is true, but we believe that the third ingredient will really make it a much higher multiple of return is innovation. Right?
Innovation. Okay. What are some of the possible inequalities to services or policies?
I'm sorry, what's the question again?
Possible inequalities in services or policies?
So there are a lot of Hispanic speaking population. They have talent, they have aspiration, but very few institution or higher ed provide services in that language. So part of the future, we have started, but we haven't done a very extensive job. Part of the service is that our workshop, our training, our website, our mentoring could be bilingual. People can
Okay.
choose to receive that in English and another language. In this case, probably Spanish. We can use the
Yeah.
Spanish to reach out to a lot of talents, and they can use this opportunity to grow their business.
In Spanish, that makes
Yeah.
sense. Wow.
And the other way is that if you go to our underserved community around here, and in the case of many different community in United States, the number of youth that thinking about creating a business is, in terms of percentage, is a lot less than the affluent community. But we have to recognize, we have to train them to know that this is a very solid career path.
Yeah.
You don't have to always limit yourself to work with someone else.
Right.
You can create your own business. And because our youth, even is underserved, they have a different knowledge. They have a different, say, language capability.
Yeah.
They have a different perspective. They have a closer connection to a different market. They can create business that is not easily envisioned by the affluent community. So the idea is that the institute is going to have a mentoring, have a tech camp, have events that address the youth, to let them know that entrepreneurship is definitely should be part of their idea of the future.
Yeah.
They don't have to get just a salary. Some of them can create business. So that is a gap, I believe,
Yeah.
our underserved community, especially the youth. Most of them, if you go to them and ask how many of you are thinking about creating a business,
Yeah.
there are some percentage, the percentage is very small compared to affluent community. Even within that very small percentage, very few of them are thinking about scaling the capable business, meaning they're all thinking about, oh, I can open a restaurant, I can open maybe a store selling retail, I can do maybe kind of gardening or painting. They're thinking about small. I can be the only worker or my family. But the Institute of Innovation will help them think about, hey, I can do this little food truck selling taco. That's great. But think about, in 2 years, this can have 5,000 trucks all over the world. So
Yeah.
I have my franchises. So it's just like, say, the very popular restaurant Chipotle, right?
Yeah.
It's a very simple idea. You go there, the ingredient is fresh, it's made right there, and it's the growing population love the Mexican food. So we want to connect the small idea, and through innovation and
Yeah.
through this mentoring, even the small idea can grow to a major business. So that's kind of the bridging the gap to get the youth to think about entrepreneur and get those people thinking about small business to think about big business. So that's the
Wow.
that's
And
the
how,
kind of major difference.
in your opinion, how would you be able to, using the Institute of Innovation, target from, let's say, kindergarten or high school, right? As far as
Well,
policies to
kindergarten would be great, but we're thinking about middle school.
middle school.
So a few things we are doing, for example, this coming spring and summer we will have a entrepreneur camp.
Okay.
Will be free to many of the underserved community.
Okay.
They will come here for a week to 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
The first week they will learn about the innovation. They will come up with ideas. They are going to build prototype. They are going to maybe write code to do an app because it's so popular these days.
Yeah.
So the first week will be creating some novel idea, product or service.
Yeah.
The second week is using that idea to build a business plan.
Okay.
The finance, the marketing,
Yeah.
the competitive, the research, the human resource, the talents, and how do you attract investment. The grand finale is a presentation, and we will try to get a major company to sponsor that. Maybe give them a little cash.
Yeah.
To help them get started. How many of those businesses will actually be realized? Very few. But that seed into that 15-year-old mind is that, wow, I can do this. So when I go to college, I don't have to go to, say, the very typical, say, the psychology, environmental study, or social work. I can be in a business or engineering school because now I know I can either start a business or I can start a product or service that can turn into a business. So many of our underserved community, the mindset is that, oh, because our community is underserved, my mission is to create a non-profit or a kind of government agency to help them. But we should change the mindset. That is very good.
Yeah.
But the real way to elevate a community out of underserved or out of somewhat the level of poverty is not to create more services, it's to create business opportunity. So I think that's the third level. We want to open the mind of youth to think about creating business is one way to elevate the whole community. So the kind of the two major effort. One is supporting, kind of cultivating, supporting entrepreneur, connecting them with talent, resource. That's one for kind of the people ready to start a company. The other side is younger one, middle school, high school. We do the camp, either technology or innovation or business, to plant a seed, to let them know this could be a career choice. Let them know that this is possible for them to create a business.
Possible.
So our hope is that if you look at kind of so-called the funnel, in a year our program try to attract maybe about 1,000 participants.
Okay.
Some of them come to our salon, kind of a gathering, workshop, like boot camp, business plan competition. About 1,000 people will somehow participate.
Yeah.
And our hope is that of the 1,000, maybe half of them will be youth, meaning 12 to 22. The other half will be like fresh college graduate to their, even mid-50s.
Yeah.
So about 1,000, we will like maybe 20% will actually engage a real business, meaning they start or they find a job in startup.
Okay.
And so that 200 will be in a real business. They propose a business, they register a business. Then again, 10% of them, so 20 will have a sustainable, scalable business they involve. Maybe only 3 or 4. So the hope is that every year the Institute, through this process, will change the mindset about 1,000 people. 200 of them will actually do something related to innovation and entrepreneurship. And 20 of them will be featured in some article, right?
Yeah.
In newspaper, a magazine, a website. So that's if we can do that, and we believe we can do that, and that will be very successful for the Institute. And you, for sure, will be in that process. Help us to run the event, help us to mentor, to support those entrepreneurs, and help us to kind of to announce those success.
Right.
So that's the.
No, it fits right in, and I'm looking forward to helping it in any way that I can, because it's gonna help me for my career aspirations and for plugging it back into where I grew up.
Yes.
You know, Monterey
Yes.
Bay region. So
Absolutely. Absolutely.
yeah, I'm looking forward to it, and
And I also I always want to kind of remind the young people like you. So often in a community we have tension. Right? For example, some people say we want to protect the environment.
Mhm.
Some people say, okay, we need to grow, we need to build more housing, roads, schools, factories.
Yeah.
And usually they bump heads, right?
Yeah.
There's an impasse in many meetings. But I always have this belief, which I believe is true,
Mhm.
that is there people think about either your way or my way. That's wrong.
Okay.
There is a new way. We plug in innovation,
Mhm.
and that can make both sides happy. Let me give you an example.
Yeah.
Let's say the water. We talk about the water.
Mhm.
So some people say we want to protect the environment. Some people say well, we want growth. Maybe desal is an innovation we can put in, so we can have water. And if we make it right, the desal, the environmental impact will be minimal. Then we protect the environment and we grow the area. Or we can get the moisture from the air, right? There's a lot of fog. If you look at a lot of trees here, even without rainfall, they still grow well. Why? Every night they have a biological structure to gather the fog and make them water. So one of the professor, Dan Fernandez, have this device. It's about the 2 feet high, 2 feet wide. You put on the roof of your house. It will gather about 2 gallons of water every night.
Wow.
And you can use that to water your plant. So
Yeah.
so people usually don't think about, either you win, you protect the environment, or
Yeah.
I win, I will build houses. But there's always, why don't we come up with a new idea?
Mhm.
But innovation will break the political impact. So that's our belief.
Yeah.
Innovation, we want to use innovation to move the community forward and to solve a lot of dilemmas we have.
Mhm.
So it's something that we have learned. I hope that this conversation also give you a little bit of a kind of seed in that. Is that whenever you see, boy, the two sides couldn't agree, then you don't have to think about, let's vote and we will prove one side is more popular. No, you have to think about, is there a new way we can make both sides win? And I believe in many cases, there's always a third way. You drop a little bit of innovation, suddenly everyone's happy.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So that's the hope.
Thank you so much,
Okay.
Dr. Tao. I won't
That's
take
good.
much of your time.